Okay, so we're going to do this short tonight because I'm tired. My eyes are a little blurry. As you can see, I worked on this some today. We added in the pink and a lot of the stuff up here. But still have plenty to do. Debating on the color for this part, but I had an idea for these. I think it's like what's holding up this fancy seashell or whatever it is, the design. And I kind of had this idea to make them look like mushrooms. There aren't underwater mushrooms though, so I don't know about that. Also, these, I want to give them a rainbow effect, but I'm not exactly sure how to go about it. You know how when you see a soap bubble and the light hits it a certain way, you get a little rainbow image on it. So I'm kind of debating how to get that in those little like reflections on the bubbles. I think I've come up with an idea. So we're going to stripe with a few colors on the water pen. Well, I don't want to squeeze it because that'll, I'm going to set it down for a second. Okay, there we go. There we go. Add a little blue. So we've got pink and green and blue. Let's see how that does on my test paper first. Nope. Nope, not going to work. Darn. Well, it was worth a try. So, let's try this a different way. Let's get this wet. And try and do a few colors here. We'll find out. Oops. Okay, now let's take water pen again. Okay. little bit of a, so one bubble, and that's actually the one closest to the surface would be the one that catches the light, so I could see that. Okay, little rainbow effect there. It was an experiment. Anyhow, let me get these caps back on tight. So our watercolors, oops, so sorry. Don't want to make y'all motion sick. Really not sure on my colors now. I think we're going to go with the gel pens for what else I do tonight. I did the pink is watercolor, and then the like, peacock swirls and stuff are the glitter gel pens. So, and since we did this in kind of the yellowy orange, I'm debating what color to fill in, and I got to fill in here too. I haven't used much in the reds. I don't like a whole lot of red. I'm not partial to it, and it has to do with something I learned a long time ago, that red was the color of anger. So I've never been a really big fan of the color red because of that. But I want to put a small touch of it in here. So I'm going to do it on these. And there is some corals that are red. So I'm debating and there's a burgundy color in seaweed that's kind of really dark. Let's see, this one is called Orange Spice. No, I've used that one. That's a purple. This one is Restful Yellow. I think that's actually what I used for those. So, Happy Yellow's too light. Oh, Citrus Orange I have practically used up. That went into two of the other paintings, but let's go ahead and use that for these. I get tired sometimes and my eyes kind of want to lose focus a little bit. I've been reading a lot lately. I think that has a lot to do with it this time. The two pictures that I did with the cats, I used this orange in those because it just seemed, well, cat fur-ish in color to me. I had a lot of orange kitties in my family of deck kitties that we had in the Richmond area. I do miss my kitties. We had one I called Spike. Spike was actually a kind of a darker colored tabby. But he didn't have like straight on tabby markings. He had kind of cool markings. And he had a good personality. Spike was my boy. Spike was one of the ones that would follow Uno and I on our walks. Always made me think of being Dr. Dolittle. Because I had a kitty that followed me everywhere I went. And he was a sweetie pie. When I lost the home after everything that happened, the neighbor across the street took in Spike, so I know he was well loved. He'd already started hanging out on Jimmy's deck quite a bit because Jimmy was like me in some ways, and Spike recognized that he would get lots of love and attention from Jimmy, and he did. So he was a interesting guy with a past. But yeah, he was the one who had the two little female dogs, and we would go on our walks, and both females went into heat. And I had no clue what to do with them. It was too funny. He would come home and get all excited over his toys. Grab his blankie and hump it around the trailer. Never tried to hump the dogs, but humped his blankie or a toy. So we always thought Una was just a little confused. But that was fine with me. I wouldn't have minded him if he had gotten the one little female pregnant, because she was so cute, and they would have had pretty puppies together. But at the same time, you know, responsible pet owner and not having excess mutts in the world kind of thing. I was glad that it didn't happen at the same time. Well, I wouldn't have minded having a puppy, because then I would have had a younger version of Uno. But life happens in its own way. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Spiced orange. It's like tonight I wanted something for dessert after I ate. And I don't have a real oven. I've got this little pathetic... No, I don't mean pathetic. It's just, it's not my idea of a real toaster oven, because it's about the smallest thing I've ever seen. But I can bake in it. But, I mean, the pan I'd have to use is, you know, so you really aren't going to get very much. I made like a little tiny brownie in it last night. And it was perfect. I mean, it was a one-serving dessert. But tonight I didn't feel like going to all that trouble. So, and then I'll have some pears. And then I thought, I've got these hard candy red hot cinnamons. And so I crushed some of them and I had them with the pears. And I'm telling you, it was pretty good. Spicy pears. Mom used to take the cinnamon red hots that would come in a bag. They were little tiny, you know, like the kind that you'd decorate a cookie with or something. And you'd use in baking. And they would melt real well. I loved the flavor of cinnamon. And if I wasn't feeling well or she wanted to give me a special treat for doing something she wanted done, she would give me one of those cinnamon red hots, or, you know, a handful of cinnamon red hots, and that was just my idea of the best treat. Almost even more than chocolate, and that's saying something because I really love dark chocolate. But she would take pears and she would bake them with the cinnamon red hots, and the red hots would just, you know, melt into them, and it was quite the treat. So I kind of went on that thought today and just crushed these candies and added them to the fresh pear, well, not fresh pears, they were canned, but they were still good. And it was perfect. It was very reminiscent of the poached pears. That's what Mom always called them, with red hots. So I enjoyed it. And I thought of Mom while I ate it. I think of her a lot these days. I miss her. And I know that kind of, in some ways, seems incongruous because we had our moments where we really didn't get along. But adoptive Mom or not, she was still my mom, basically. So, kind of debating the rocks down here, maybe adding a little of the cinnamon when I do them. Well, we'll figure it out. I think that's where I'm going to stop tonight. No, I didn't do as much as usual, but each day I put a little more in. And I don't know if you can see, but that is glittery, and it's pretty. So the pen set that I'm using, let me set this aside so I can show you. This is what came from Color It, and it has how many pens is in the set? I think it's 48. Yeah, 48 pens. This is the box that it came in. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me. See, Color It. 48 pens, and not only did it come with the pens, but the set comes with the ink refills. So when one of my pens runs out, I have the refills to go with it. So, and this little box has the magnetic closure to it. So, and then I did pick up 3 of their markers because the ink pens, as you can see, they're fairly bright colors. There are no real mild like blue or flesh tone. And I got this pencil for the flesh tone when I did the fairy, and it worked perfectly. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and it is a Faber-Castell, and it's a watercolor pencil. So you can see, you can draw with it, and then I can use the watercolor, just the brush that has the water filled in it, and it will take that and make it blend. So that's pretty nice. And then the 3 markers, I have a soft blue, and they have 2 tips, the chisel and the fine point. This one is called Creamy Yellow, and it's very light. And then this one is Pearl White, which works, this one I think works fairly well for like a light grayish skin tone, but I used it for the mane on my unicorn because it's like just off of white, and I did my unicorn as a palomino instead of just white or, heaven forbid, rainbow colored. While it's cute and the kids love it and stuff, it's not for me. So anyhow, all right, we're gonna flip this way, and crazy hair. Not quite as bad as Wil Wheaton's bedhead this morning, but it was crazy. When I woke up, it was like it was doing a Johnny Bravo, the short hair, you know, crazy stuff. Anyway, so I am going to let you all go, and I am going to head for bed because I am tired and the eyes are just slowly closing on me. So we'll work on that picture more tomorrow, and I might actually get it done. Oh, before I go, I gotta show you the 2 books that I got. Hang on. We've lost signal. There we go. 2 new art books. No, I know they're not from Color It. I was at Books A Million looking for something else, and these were on sale. And I went through and watched the movie again, and I've written down the colors that I need to put in some of these. Like this is, it was obviously Christmas time. There's a Christmas tree in the background and stuff. But these are actually art from scenes from the movie, along with some, you know, just interesting bits. But there were 2 of them. So I got 2 coloring books. Where's the other one? Hello? Oh, there it is. It's underneath my pile. Hang on. We're getting it. Here we go. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And this one has more like scenes from the movie and stuff. I love that little, the lock, Muggle-worthy. And you see the eye coming through, looking out. from his suitcase. And Jacob, I just loved him. He was like, some people said he was like the comic relief, but he humanized Mr. Scamander. And that's Queenie. I'm going to love doing her with her strawberry blonde curls. But so they were on sale, from marked down from like $20 to $4.97. So I felt like I was getting a pretty good deal, and I picked those up. So when I finish my pieces from Color It, these are going to be my next thing to tackle. And I've got more colors coming. Since I can't afford wire, but I can afford a small amount of art stuff, that's what I went for, and I'm having fun with that. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk at you later. Yeah, I did keep this much shorter. The last two were over 40 minutes. So, ta-ta for now.